Hi, I'm Christian Brindle with Christian Brindle Insurance Services.
And I'm Glenn Shelton with Lead Heroes and Hire Heroes.
And this is Taco Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Let's talk about insurance. This is a show all about growing your business as an insurance agent and bringing you up-to-date marketing trends. We have great guests.
We have sales experts. We'll talk about all things pertaining to senior insurance and other lines of insurance. We're trying to help you grow your business, and we are excited that you are here to watch our content.
If you enjoy this episode, make sure to like the episode. Subscribe to any platform that you enjoy to listen on. Make sure to leave a 5-star review if it allows it, and we'll see you on the episode.
We'll see you in there.
This video is brought to you by none other than Hire Heroes, you guys. Hire Heroes is your one-stop shop when it comes to virtual staffing and making sure that you have qualified talent with your business. One thing that I love about Hire Heroes, you guys, is they've actually gone through the process already of vetting and making sure that your staff member is well trained to best fit your needs. Whether you need help with social media work, posting things on your accounts, responding to people that send messages to your social media accounts, whether you need help with data entry or a multitude of other things that they're qualified to do, Hire Heroes has got you covered. If you're having trouble finding quality talent and number two, affording to be able to run payroll for that talent, Hire Heroes has got you covered with an affordable alternative to have a virtual assistant working for your business. There's a link down in the description of this video to where you can learn more about getting your own VA through Hire Heroes. I certainly recommend it. They're what we use in our business for all of our virtual assistant needs, and you will want to make sure that you check them out today. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Taco Tuesday. Let's talk about insurance. This is Glenn Shelton, my co-host, founder
How do you do?
of Lead Heroes, Hire Heroes, virtual assistant,
Owner of the state of Oregon. I actually just bought the state recently, you guys. So a lot of stuff going on over here. Christian Brindle, though.
That I didn't know about this. I didn't know about the big purchase.
Yeah, Biden was in trouble. The U.S. debt's gotten so out of hand. There was a quiet transaction. They were like, Oregon sucks. Let's just sell it. And, with all my money, I was like,
got it for pennies on the dollar.
The Louisiana purchase looks overpriced compared to what I just paid. I guess I'll just say that. I don't know.
You gave Biden a VA for a year and you got Oregon in exchange.
I signed up the entire, it was a government contract. I got a VA government contract. Guys, Christian Brindle from Christian Brindle Insurance Services, the admin and creator of the Six Figure Medicare Agent Group and the Six Figure Medicare Agent Summit, which is coming to you so soon, probably within about a month of you seeing this video go live. You better be there. I actually just talked to a client today, and they were like, Glenn, were you at Medicarians? I was like, no. I was like, I'm going to the summit, though. And they're like, oh, I'm going to the summit, too. And I'm like, oh, I'll see you there. Boom.
So from the time of recording this, we literally sold our final few gold tickets, which is our higher end tickets. So we're done on gold tickets. Like, we have none left. Don't ask, because you can't get them. You're going to have to basically finagle somebody that already has one. Maybe you have to pay premium. I don't know. It's up to you. But you can still get general admission tickets. So you done messed up on the gold tickets if you don't have one. Like, you can't overcome this. Like, this is something you have to live with for the rest of your life, pretty much.
That's a lot of FOMO too, guys. I mean, fear of missing out for those who don't know what that stands for. FOMO. Oh, look, I get my microphone in there.
Yeah.
Taco Bell. Guys, I'm in the 90s Taco Bell again for today's Taco Tuesday episode. We have a trying to get around my desk here. We have a super exciting topic today, but before we get into it, Christian, NBA playoffs, hot take. What's going on? Where are we at? We had an episode last year around this time. I think we
did nothing but talk about the playoffs.
Well, we didn't. No, it was a quick 5. I think it went on a bit longer, but before we get into the juicy insurance related topic that all of our fans are going to love, Let's talk about the hot take on the NBA playoffs. Christian, what's going on?
We have to talk about it. Like
We have to.
The elephant in the room. I mean, Jimmy Butler is basically
buckets. Himmy Butler, as they're calling him.
There's a conspiracy video on YouTube that came out several years back that said Jimmy Butler looks a lot like and plays a lot like and is the same size as Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And they're like, Michael Jordan was his real father. That's kind of what the conspiracy was.
What? You're blowing my mind right now.
No, like look at a picture of them side by side, young MJ and Jimmy right now. And you'll be like, wait a minute. You'll be like, what am I looking at right now? He was Jordan-esque.
Hang on. Can you find it and screen share? This has to go wide. I want to see it side by side. Guys, we're going to do a live reveal right now on show. Again, we're still warming up. We're getting to the juicy insurance content, but Christian just dropped a bomb about a potential paternity test that we didn't know was positive till right now. Jimmy Buckets Butler might be the unknown son of Michael Jordan. And I will say, I watched the game last night. Oh, that's extremely close.
Come on.
That's extremely close.
Is that not kind of spooky?
I mean, I'd give it a 97%. I mean, they're related somehow. Maybe it's not his father, but
go back far enough.
What do you think? Do you think that's true?
I would say it'd be pretty insane. Like, it'd be the most wild thing that's ever happened in the history of sports. But like, this man went Jordan-esque and carried an 8th seed team that got in the playoffs in a play-in game.
After losing their first play-in game.
Yes. And went up against the number 1 team in the NBA record-wise in the regular season. Future Hall of Famer without a doubt, Giannis. Best defensive team in the NBA, right? Like
a dynasty. I was telling people that I thought the Bucks were a dynasty team. They were going to look back at this year's Bucks and be like, that was part of the dynasty years. I said that.
That team had 3 players on it that could potentially be all NBA defense this year in the regular season. And he cooked all of them. Like, no matter who they put on him, he's like, no, son. And just was giving them the business. I loved every second of it, to be honest. Like, I mean, I remember Jimmy Butler a couple years back in the bubble year carries the Heat to the finals. He was awesome in that. So like, he's just a gamer. He's just a freaking baller. And I mean, I love everything about him. I remember like early in his career, they would talk about how he was like a difficult teammate and like he would like, you know, he would like demoralize like these young players that weren't working hard. And like, I'm like, good. Like, why is that a bad thing? You like
work ethic.
Like, how is Karl Anthony Towns doing today? You know, Andrew Wiggins is a decent player now for Golden State, but like, has he ever turned in what he was supposed to be? No, because you're protecting them from Jimmy Butler, man. Let give them to Jimmy Buckets and let him mold them, these young guys.
I will say too. So before the official playoffs started, after the play-in games, before the NBA playoffs, if you had asked me, if you had said, Glenn, is anybody going to get swept 4-0? I only had one pick for a sweep, and that was the Miami Heat and Milwaukee Bucks. That was my only pick. That was my only pick. I said, there's no way. I'm like, this is literally one of the worst teams that, dude, when I watched the Hawks Heat play-in game and the Hawks were like,
gave it to them.
Oh my gosh. And I'm like, the Hawks, who in my opinion were like a mediocre team, and they just came in and smashed them. And then Tyler Hero got hurt. Tyler Hero's like their number 6. It's like their 6. I think he even started. Didn't Hero start?
Yeah. You could make the argument he's their 3rd best player.
Yeah. And he didn't even play in this series except one game or half of one game. Like
they were, I was watching a podcast after not the elimination game, but the game before that where Jimmy had like 56 or whatever. And it was a Miami Heat franchise playoff record, which means more points than any LeBron game in the playoffs, more points than any Dwayne Wade game in the playoffs, more points than any Alonzo Mourning, Shaq, all these people that have played for the Heat in the playoffs. Like, that's wild to me. I thoroughly enjoyed the series. I'm really enjoying this Lakers Grizzlies series.
I am too.
I'm liking that one. I saw something the other day on social media that showed like when Dylan Brooks came out and started shitting on LeBron, they were showing their career accolades side by side. It was like Dylan Brooks, 0 All-Stars, 0 All-NBA, 0 rings, 0 this, 0, 6,000 career points. LeBron James, 39,000 career points.
That's not even fair.
And I love that the next game, like LeBron comes out and just cooks him, like wins the game over him. Like he can't guard him. LeBron's 38. And like
that's the one part that blows my mind when you see LeBron play is how old he is. And I think we've talked about this before, but he wins the longevity award in my book for sure. Yeah. You could argue he's not the GOAT. I don't believe he's the GOAT. I was at my son's Little League game yesterday, and I actually heard the question come up, and like all these kids were saying LeBron was the GOAT.
No, give me a break.
Had to bite my tongue. I was about to smash some freaking Little Leaguers down. I was like, no, don't you dare say LeBron's the GOAT. But longevity-wise, it's incredible to see the way he's playing right now today at 38 years old, 20 years in the NBA.
Nuts.
Nobody's ever done that. Nobody. No.
And like they're probably going to win this series against Memphis.
Hopefully not.
They'll probably lose the next series. Like whoever wins that Sacramento Golden State series, like they're probably going to win against the Lakers. I think they'll win. But yeah, I mean, like they had a pretty rough season all around. So the fact that they're probably going to advance around is more than what I thought they were going to do. The Clippers-Suns matchup was fascinating to me because so you had Kawhi first 2 games, and Kawhi is excellent in games 1 and 2.
Fantastic.
Westbrook is like very valuable and important in this series.
All of a sudden, Westbrook's relevant again.
He's shooting the ball well. He's playing good defense on like Kevin Durant.
Good basketball.
Like what?
Like wild.
I mean, obviously they lose, but like Kawhi plays first 2 games, and then all of a sudden he can't play. He's not available, and I'm like, that's just cool. That's just what he is at this point. Like you can never win a championship with him as your main guy.
That's like my biggest like issue with the NBA playoffs is every year there's a team that gets written off because of a star player's injury.
Mm-hmm.
There's Kawhi Leonard got hurt previously in the playoffs, made a huge impact.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of some other. I mean, LeBron James, he was injured, and he basically tried to play through it, and he wasn't the same. I remember watching those Lakers Suns playoffs games a couple years ago. So it'd be more fair if everyone could stay healthy. It's not possible. We're humans, but it's like I want to see all the superstars healthy playing each other in the playoffs. Like that's what this is supposed to be about. So, when you have someone like Giannis who misses 2 games, and it's like, Jimmy Buckets, it's Michael Jordan's secret bastard son, and like it's but like Giannis wasn't even there for 2 games, but they won one of the 2. It's like it doesn't feel legitimate to me,
I agree. I mean, like I would say if we had to do it all over again and you have Giannis the full series, I think it's a different story.
9 out of 10 times the Bucks win that series.
Yeah, 100%. Sure. Real quick, because I have one more thought before we move on. New York beating Cleveland surprised me.
That was also surprising. I'm a Knicks fan generally. So, but I still, I did do a little bracket. I did pick like a bracket for fun. I picked the Cavs to win that series just because the Cavs have been playing so well.
Yeah.
I didn't anticipate the Knicks to be able to pull that off. So, again, something that surprised me entirely.
Real quick, answer me this, and then we'll get on to the actual topic of the show. Who do you have coming out of the East and coming out of the West? Who's in the finals?
Today, or who did I pick originally?
No, like today, like with knowing what you know today.
Oh, man, I hate the 76ers. And it was really disappointing to not see the Nets win one game. I would probably say, okay, on the West, I'm gonna say the Nuggies. I think the Nuggies are deeper than they've ever been. Jamal Murray, again, another star player that was injured previously, who made a huge impact on them not being able to put together a championship run. He's playing some of the best basketball he's ever played. Jokic, giant, ready to dominate. I think we got the Nuggets on the West.
MVP.
The Warriors don't have it this year, guys. The Warrior bandwagon fans, I just want to vomit. Listen, I love Steph Curry, guys. Steph Curry's the man. I love it. I love his range, his shooting. I love watching him play. I just don't want them to win. I don't think they will win. I don't think they have the ability to win a championship this year. So, bandwagon fans, now's your time to get off the Warriors wagon. The Suns suck. They barely beat a Clippers team that was handicapped. So they're not going to win this year. So it's really Lakers or Nuggets at that point. And so I'm definitely taking Nuggets. So I got Nuggets in the West.
Okay.
I've got probably Celtics in the East.
Yes.
I'm going to say Nuggets in 6. That's
Whoa.
probably And I thought the Nuggets were going to go far. I like the Nuggets now more than I did before, but same question to you.
Okay. So I will make the East quicker for me because, I agree with everything you said. I'm also going with Boston out of the East.
Boston.
I mean, let's be honest. It's Boston or it's Philadelphia, and I don't trust James Harden, and I don't trust Embiid in the playoffs. I don't trust either of them.
Embiid's knees are like a vehicle that got recalled 10 years ago, and they're just still not worked. Like, I don't trust him to stay healthy either, dude.
No, don't get me wrong. If we had Jimmy Butler in the finals, I would be so happy. Like that'd be he's just going a wrecking ball going through every series. Like that would be delightful. But I don't think it's going to happen. Now
Here's the
West,
narrative. Here's the narrative. Jimmy Buckets gets to the finals. Michael Jordan claims him as his son. Game 1. That happens game 1, and then it's like a 4-0 Heat sweep of the Nuggets.
Finals MVP. One final Jimmy Butler thing before I stop talking about him.
Yeah.
He didn't make the All-Star team this year.
Yeah, why not? Because he
didn't play enough games, and he wasn't like overwhelmingly dominant in the regular season. I think he averaged under 20 a game. So like playoff Jimmy is a different thing.
It is a different thing. I just saw JJ Redick say that. Did you see JJ talk about Jimmy?
I saw that. I don't think I caught that.
Okay. So you've got Boston and who? The Warriors?
Okay, so out of the West, if I had to put my money on it, I'm going Phoenix.
No.
And I'll tell you why.
No.
I don't think here's what's going to happen. The Lakers are going to beat Memphis, and then AD or LeBron's going to go down. Mark it.
AD already looks like the wheels are loose, bro.
Yeah. So book it.
He looks like he's slowing down.
So round 2, whoever wins, I think Golden State's going to win against Sacramento. I think Golden State goes to the conference finals. I think Phoenix beats Denver. And okay, so it might seem like that Clipper series was close, but they won 4-1. They only lost a game.
Yeah,
and that was a game that Kawhi
were close, bro. They kept blowing leads like it was their job to blow those leads.
I watched a lot of those games, and this is what I kept thinking. I'm like, you can't guard them because you have CP3, Booker, Durant, and Ayton on the floor. Like you can't guard them. Like you double Durant, like Booker was cooking people like 40 every game. And I just don't think
Booker's
anybody.
assist, I think that was one of the most shocking things of that is seeing Booker hit almost 10 assists a game. I think he did have a 10 assist game.
He did. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. I think he did as well.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember watching them, and like the Clippers were trying their best. The only game the Clippers won, by the way, they had Kawhi, and Kawhi was sensational.
Don't you think if any team could guard the Suns, it'd be the Nuggets, though?
So I don't think Jokic is a great rim defender. I think they have Aaron Gordon, who's a good defensive player.
Yep.
But that's like it. Like I don't think they have like this great defensive team. And so I think there's gonna be a lot of offense. I don't know, like I just don't trust Denver for some reason. Like I just don't.
Okay, so Suns, Boston,
Yeah.
and who wins in what game?
I think I'm taking Boston because I saw Boston dismantle Durant last year in the playoffs.
So you bet against Boston last year when it was
did.
Boston.
I did.
So it was Boston Warriors. You bet against Boston. You literally put your money on
Yes.
the Warriors. The Warriors win it all. Now you're coming back the other way. You're like, Boston's due. Tatum's due.
They're
Jaylen Brown is due.
They're older. They had to defeat last year. They have a deeper team this year. Malcolm Brogdon on their team coming off the bench. He's probably the sixth man of the year. Like, I like their team. Like everybody else talks about like, you know, oh, they get sloppy. But like they have two amazing young wing isolation guys. So like that'll happen sometimes. But like, I don't know, man. I don't trust anybody else. Like, I mean, for me to write them off, I have to trust somebody else more. And I don't trust anybody else more. Like Phoenix, I don't think will beat them, but I think they'll make the finals as long as there's no like Kevin Durant injury, which there probably will be. Who knows? But like,
probably he's got those turkey legs, bro. Those things don't look like they can even hold his torso on. I don't know.
So like the Nuggets, they have Jokic, and Jokic is ridiculous, right? But like they don't have like a second all-star. They haven't had a second all-star for many years. Like Jamal Murray is not an all-star. He's a good player, but he's not an all-star.
Michael Porter Jr.
Michael Porter Jr. is a good player, but he's streaky, never made an all-star team. So I don't know who I can consistently count on to be guy number 2.
I think you can count on Jamal Murray. I think Jamal Murray,
Yeah.
if they do win the series, which again I think they will, I think it's going to come down to whether Jamal Murray wants it or not. From an offensive standpoint, I believe in Jamal Murray delivering. From a defensive standpoint, I don't know. I do think the Suns are a bit more better. I don't know. On paper, see, it's one of those things where like on paper, the Suns look incredible, but sometimes when you put together all those pieces on paper, it doesn't always translate into the gameplay you want. I also think Ayton is an absolute joke. He's a liability. Why is a 7-foot center playing this mid-range game? You think he's Michael Jordan on the court. He's taking these turnaround jump shots at the free throw line. I get angry every time I see Ayton play. Why are you not crashing the glass like AD every play? AD at least usually gets in there and gets dirty and grabs 20 rebounds. Dude, look at the stat lines. Ayton grabs like 8 or 7 rebounds a game sometimes. It's like, what's going on? Chris Paul had more rebounds than Ayton in game 1 of the Clippers series.
Fun DeAndre Ayton fact.
Oh, boy.
He was picked over in his draft class, number 1 over Luka Doncic and Trae Young.
Oh, no. Trae Young, I don't really...
I mean, but
Luka's...
Trae Young hit that sick game winner last night. Like, would you rather have DeAndre Ayton like on your team just in general or Trae Young?
Trae Young. I mean, give
me Trae
Young.
But definitely Luka. Luka's the one where you're like, what are you doing? You know, play Luka at center. You know, it's like that old like saying like play Jordan at center. You need a center, play Jordan at center. Don't take Sam Bowie.
That's the future of the NBA though. The future of the NBA is Karl Anthony Towns is someone who can play center, who is 7 foot, 7'2", but is equally comfortable shooting a 3-point shot and they can essentially also play like a Draymond Green point guard game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the future of the NBA. The old days where you could take someone like Sean Bradley, put a 7'6" guy out there who all he can do is just like stand up and like do the and like he's just like dunking the ball and like trying to block shots. Like
that Miami closeout game last night. Bam Adebayo has 10 assists. He's standing at the top of the key and feeding Jimmy Butler, who's cutting
underneath
to the basket. Like his 20-10-10 game. He's like basically bringing the ball up. He's their point guard. Bam.
That's weird. I don't feel like he's the player for that. I do feel like there's players that are built for that. Like I think Cat is that, but
he's not the guy I would think of with that either. But they worked last night.
Was that their way of keeping Giannis out of the paint, though?
I think they were keeping, because like Brook Lopez, saw something the other day that said like he was the second runner-up for probably Defensive Player of the Year this year. Brook Lopez, he had a great season. You know, he's a paint defender. So like you have Brook Lopez out on Bam, and he's not defending the paint, and then I don't know where Giannis is. I don't know. And so they're pulling those two guys out, Brook Lopez and Giannis. And then they're hitting a cutting Jimmy, who's like being guarded by Drew Holiday, who's an amazing defensive player, but he's probably undersized for Jimmy. Around the basket,
they were trying to play the matchup.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, you look at Bam, like he's probably averaging, and I don't know this, I'm just guessing, he's probably averaging 4 assists a game, maybe 5 assists a game. So like they run him in that, even though you don't think of him that way. You think of him like as this rebounding, shot blocking guy, but I think to be a center, you have to be more versatile these days.
100%. It's changed. It's completely changed. This isn't your dad's NBA. One of my favorite headlines before the playoffs was they were talking about the Kings, and they're like, this isn't your dad's Kings. Because the Sacramento Kings hadn't been in the playoffs in 15 years. And so it's like, you know, like we were kids when
there was no lighting the beam back then. No beam lighting.
There was no beam to light. Those Kings didn't even have a crown. Here's my thought is we just did a whole episode. So I think this is a bonus Taco Tuesday NBA episode.
Yes. I would agree. I agree. Guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a part 2 where we will actually talk about what we were going to talk about, which we'll give you guys a little spoiler. It was going to be talking about ChatGPT and virtual assistants in your business, talking about them separately, talking about using them together per se. A little talk about Spanish speaking virtual assistants for those of you that are bilingual. ¿Cómo estás ustedes?
Sí, señor.
I am not bilingual. That's the only thing I can say. I got an F in Spanish class, except for when I changed my grades.
There you go.
One of my friends hacked into the teacher's computer and changed my grade to an A, and everyone got caught and suspended and grades put back to Fs except for me.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious. I'm admitting it publicly right now. My grade was changed and I got an A+.
Okay, you're not going to believe this. Are you ready for this? Are you sitting down? I got suspended for one of my friends hacking into the computer and changing my chemistry grade in high school. How crazy. Like when you're saying this, dude, I'm thinking like the Matrix is failing right now. I'm like, you're telling me my story. And now you're saying that but how did you get away?
They just didn't notice. Like they're just scatterbrained. Like they had like a list of, like the teacher went back based on her memory and she's like, there's no way this person that got that, this person got that, this person got that. And she just like slipped over mine. And my friends were mad at me because I didn't come forward. And I was like, no way, I'm fucking going to summer school if I come forward.
I did have to go to summer school. Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going to go to summer school. Like, you know, everyone's out having fun, and I'm sitting in a classroom somewhere. ¿Cómo estás ustedes?
¿Cómo estás? Dice
Um,
God.
what is it that in dodgeball? ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Or like he comes in and like Ben Stiller's in his apartment. He's like, ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Which it means, where is the library? And he's like, what? He's like,
yeah.
oh,
That's wild, dude.
That's wild. Guys, check out that next episode when it comes out. As Glenn said, consider this one a bonus.
This is a bonus.
And
enjoy it.
I guess we'll see you guys next episode next Tuesday. Later, guys.